Hello, it's me, Scarah, Damsel of the Doomed. Welcome to another episode of Scarah's Screamcast. Today, I am joined by my friend and guest, the amazing and legendary Tony Tamayo. Hey. And also Herman. Hey. That's right, Herman. I was just saying you're a guest. Today, Tony, is the episode where we're going to recap our experiences at Texas Frightmare Weekend. So that'll be fun. Tony was with me all weekend in my booth pretty much. So we're going to do that today. But first, I want to ask you the pop questions of the week. They are, what are you drinking? It could be right now, or what's your favorite drink of the moment? What are you listening to? That could be in general, or, what were you just listening to? So however you want to answer it, Tony. And then what are you currently watching on the internet or TV or whatever? So let's start with your drink.
Well, right now I'm drinking Dr. Pepper Zero Sugar Strawberries and Cream.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorites. But lately I've been drinking the coconut one because they brought it back to the stores and I missed it. It's been like 2 years since they had it. And
I need to get some of those. I think we had those at Houston Horror last year.
Oh yeah.
I can't remember. Those definitely are. That's a nice
really
summer
good,
drink.
yeah.
Very delicious. What have you been listening to?
Well, as I came up on the drive over here, I was listening to, I still had my playlist from the convention, from the trip over there. So I know you heard a lot of 80s and, older songs. And my friend Alex liked that stuff too. But as I got up closer to your driveway, the Harry Nilsson song Without You came out. And I've always liked that song.
Tony, can I tell you something?
Go ahead.
I love Harry Nilsson so much. I have albums back there. Nilsson Schmilson. I will listen to Harry Nilsson all day if you let me. Have you heard? Are you a fan of him, or is it just that one?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that man has one of the most beautiful voices in recorded history. So I love hearing that. Speaking of your playlist, I remember the first time you and I did Frightmare together. We got in your car and it was after a long day of vending. It was like the first night, you know how it goes till 11. And we got in your car and you turned on your car and your playlist played one of the Ghostbusters song. Who is it? What is it?
The Ray Parker Jr. one?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it was the Ray Parker Jr. And I was like, oh yeah.
I have that one and I have the Bobby Brown one on my own.
Yeah.
On our own or something like that.
Yeah. I love that you have playlists for Frightmare. Or is it just one of your fun playlists? It's your 80s playlist.
It's one of my 80s, yeah.
It's a lot of songs from movies.
Oh yeah.
Is it all songs from movies?
It also has like scores. Like when Alex and I went to lunch the other day, it was playing Last of the Mohicans. So,
that's a beautiful score.
yeah, I really like it.
Really good. Very good movie. Yeah. I like that about you. I like that you're so into nostalgia. Uh-oh, here it comes. Can you hand me that? Thank you.
Okay.
There's our iPad so that we can watch watch people. Oh, somebody says, hey, yo, Tony and Scarah, I guess. That was our friend Tracy said that.
Tracy.
Hey, Tracy. What about Herman? You don't give two shits about Herman, Tracy. Thank you. What is it? Before I get into the horror, no, I'm going to do horror headlines, and then I want to ask you a couple of questions about conventions. Okay, Tony? So let's see. Since I have Herman on my lap, I'm going to use my phone. All right, listen to this. Maggie Gyllenhaal's sci-fi horror film starring Jessie Buckley and Christian Bale. It had a rocky start with its theatrical reception earlier this year, but it hit HBO Max over the weekend and immediately skyrocketed to the #1 most watched movie globally on that platform. So it seems to be finally finding its cult audience in the streaming space. Did we didn't see that one together, did we? I can't remember. Did we see The Bride together?
Yeah, we saw The Bride.
Damn,
yeah,
dude.
Yeah.
Of course we did. I think I see every movie with you.
This year, yeah.
That's right. We saw it at AMC, didn't we? Was it AMC?
Yeah, the Barton Creek one.
Yeah.
We saw, yeah.
AMC Barton Creek, The Bride. I thought it was a great movie to see on the big screen. It was I want to say it was over $100 million budget. And we talked about it, or I did at least on the podcast. Thought it was a beautiful movie. I liked a lot about it, but I do think that the story kind of disintegrated a little bit. But I think it's going to be one of those movies that'll be fun to go back to and watch. I can't remember what you felt about it, though.
I really enjoyed it a lot. It's like you were talking about how it had strong women characters,
Yeah.
and they were like
of all ages.
Older,
Yeah.
and
Mostly older women.
Because I remember we were asking, you were trying to figure out who that one actress was.
Annette Bening? No. No.
It was, who was she? She wasn't familiar to me, but.
Do you remember who she played?
No.
It'll come back to you.
Yeah, it'll come back to you.
But yeah, so in The Bride, it was a lot of the women were over 40, except for the one who played the bride. And she was in her 30s, I believe. But still, if this were Hollywood, I don't know, 25 years ago, the bride would have been played by a 20-year-old. Yeah. And everybody else, the old woman in the movie, the old person who basically played the Dr. Frankenstein role, Annette Bening, would have been played by somebody who was like 30, and they would have called her old. So it's nice to see Maggie Gyllenhaal like kind of changing the landscape there for women in Hollywood, because it's such a raw end of the deal that women, like after they turn 30, it's like they fall off a cliff or something. Like women over 30 don't exist.
Because very few of them are still around. I mean, we still got Susan Sarandon and Meryl Streep.
Yeah.
Those are like the exceptions. You know, but otherwise...
Two.
Yeah.
Right?
Otherwise, they get reduced to like television roles. I mean, I remember seeing Faye Dunaway on an episode of Grey's Anatomy. I was like, wow, she's an Academy Award winning actress.
She was a movie star.
Yeah, she's a movie star, and she's on one episode of Grey's Anatomy.
Right.
And this was years ago.
Right.
Poor girl.
It's just, they don't, I mean, the men, they can stay on the silver screen for a long time, but I think it's changing a little bit. Tracy comments on our chat saying he didn't see Herman. He would have certainly said hello to Herman, don't you think? Let's see. Okay, I have the next horror headline. Let me find it on the phone. Actually, I think I can read this one here. Markiplier's Iron Lung sets a YouTube date. The highly anticipated sci-fi claustrophobic horror film, Iron Lung, adapted from the indie game by YouTuber Markiplier, has an exclusive YouTube streaming release date of May 31st. I didn't see that one with you. That was like the only one I think I haven't seen with you. And have you seen it?
No.
Are you a video game guy, Tony?
No, I haven't been in a long time. Not since my old Sega Genesis days.
Oh my gosh, what did you play on Sega Genesis?
Oh man, Maximum Carnage, a Spider-Man game. I love that game. We played that, and I remember we had a cliffhanger game because that came out in the '90s. We had that, and that was a lot of fun. And then when my brother moved out, he took the Sega Genesis with him, and there went my gaming days.
Oh my gosh. Well, this one is based on a video game called Iron Lung, and I believe Markiplier, he has his YouTube channel, there's a lot of horror video games. So he adapted the screenplay from that game's story, and I think expanded the lore. And they filmed it here at Robert Rodriguez's studios, which is cool. And I interviewed Jason Vines, who was the head special effects guy on that. And by all accounts, Markiplier is just like this really cool, very fair, very nice guy. So it's great to see that movie doing as well as it did. He produced it by himself, was the executive producer for, I believe, $3 million. And it's already made back just tons of money. And then the next step would be to, put it out there in streaming. But streaming is such a wild issue with people. There's a few ways to go streaming, and the deals are usually not favorable to the movie maker, to the filmmaker. They're favorable to all sorts of other people. So Markiplier, he is making his own Blu-rays and DVDs, but he bought like the CD press to do it or whatever. And then he's also, he penned a deal with YouTube, and it says exclusive deal because it's never been done before. Where they're going to release his movie. It's only going to be on that platform. The deal, he came up with the deal with, his lawyers, their lawyers, and whatever. And hopefully it'll open the doors for indie filmmakers following him, because indie filmmakers especially need all the help they can get when it comes to streaming. Okay, let's see. Hold on. I lost my place here. Oh no, this is why I usually do the book. Let me try this. Sorry, Herman. I don't want to disturb you. Okay. I'm going to skip that one, and then we'll do that last. Studio Canal and Sony dropped a double whammy of classic genre announcements. And I got to say, this is one of those IP reimagining things, Tony, so get ready. Joe Dante's legendary 1981 werewolf masterpiece is officially being developed into a modern reimagining. Details on who is directing are still under wraps, but the studio is looking to revitalize the franchise with a heavy focus on modern FX. So changing everything that makes the Howling cool with the practical effects. They are going to reimagine it with modern technology and modern special effects, which is, we're talking about the Howling, by the way, which is, it is what it is. We'll see what they do.
I wonder if he gets any money off of that or
Joe Dante, well, it depends on who owns that intellectual property. I know he directed it. Do you know if Joe Dante wrote it?
No, I don't know. And I met him at Frightmare Weekend this weekend.
He was there.
Yeah.
What did you say to him?
We talked about Piranha because he had done Piranha at San Marcos at Ocarina Springs back when they had it back then in the like 78 when that movie came out. But I talked to him about that and told him I remember when they were filming that because the American Statesman had a story about it. And that's how I knew that, they brought Hollywood to Texas. It was an area I knew, but I didn't see the movie until like a few years later. But I've always liked that movie.
Which one?
Piranha.
Did he do any of the subsequent Piranhas, or was he?
No,
he just did
Piranha 2 was done by a guy named James Cameron. Did that one?
Oh, some little old unknown.
Some little guy.
Whatever happened to him? I wonder. He probably just did that one and fell off the face of the earth.
The Piranha were flying in that one.
3D. Speaking of the reimagining, here's the other one. After floating in developmental hell for over a decade with various directors attached, a remake of John Carpenter's dystopian sci-fi action horror classic, Escape from New York, is officially back active and moving forward at Sony. And we were briefly talking about this before we started to roll cameras. And what do we think about this one, Tony?
I don't know. I really love the original one. And, I like the Escape from LA, but yeah, we're talking about Escape from New York. I love what John Carpenter did with it. There was no CGI back then. Everything was like sets and props, and the way they made it, looked like Manhattan was just this prison. And so I don't know. Can anybody else play Snake Plissken?
No, man. No. We were talking about that briefly, and you said years ago they were talking about
Gerard Butler. I remember reading that Kurt Russell wanted like an American. That's what it was. He wanted an American, not Gerard Butler. Gerard Butler, he's a great actor, but he's not American. It doesn't matter because like the movie we saw last night, the main guy, I didn't know he was British, but I'm getting off subject.
Interesting. Yeah, we'll talk about that in a minute. I think you definitely need to get Kurt Russell's approval to play Snake.
Yeah.
And then John Carpenter, I feel like he should be involved somehow, but I doubt he is.
Yeah.
I don't. You know what they're doing, what they're getting set to do, Tony, in Hollywood, is speaking of sets, they're not even going to have sets anymore eventually. They are pushing this AI shit to where you go into a studio and you film with your actors just in a blank space, like just a gray, everything's gray around you. And they're trying to act like, oh, this is great for directors because they'll have all this time with their actors and they'll be able to just really direct their actors. Here's what I think. First of all, it's bullshit. Secondly, it's bullshit because to be immersed in a scene is helpful to an actor, I think. If you're just acting in some blank gray room, but you're supposed to be in the swamps of Louisiana, you're not gonna feel it. You're gonna have to really pull everything you can to be able to act that. Why make it harder on the actor? Second, that means they're also going to get rid of tons of jobs, set designers, props, all of that stuff. They're out. Background actors, out. That's going to be AI generated too. I mean, all of they don't, background actors that don't have lines, I don't think have the same SAG protections. They're not SAG-AFTRA actors. So, if you have enjoyed being a background actor in Hollywood movies, that's going to go. So I feel you on the Escape from New York. If they're not doing it the way that it's been done with real sets and all of that, like what are we about to see in Hollywood? It's gross. I don't like it. What do you think?
No, I agree. And I've been a background actor before. And you were talking about Robert Rodriguez's studios. I was a background actor on Alita Battle Angel, and I love that. And it was just like fun, because they did use me. I didn't have any lines or anything. I did have like 3 seconds of screen time that showed up on a day I forgot. It was like a pickup day and I came out there and they did a scene over and over again, and I showed up in the movie. And the first time I saw the movie, I wasn't paying attention. I didn't see myself. My friend that I went with me, she's like, "Oh, there you are." So I had to go back and see it again. And then I loved it. So
Tracy said there's fake CGI in Escape from New York. LOL. Listen, Tracy. First of all, tell us what scene, and secondly, a little CGI in a movie that is mostly practical. That's fine. I don't mind a little CGI added, blended in, or whatever. But if it's like the whole thing, get out.
Ooh, I hate when they do it in fight scenes. It's like, oh no, and they like fake, somebody's arm.
Oh yeah, and it's fake blood and all of that. Yeah. The first time I was super disappointed with fake blood was I think it was the last of Rob Zombie's movies with the what was it? What was his big franchise?
Like The Devil's Rejects or something?
Yeah. It was the last in that. And it was either the last or the second to the last. And there was a big shootout scene. And instead of using the real blood packs that are called squibs, where they just explode on the actor, and it looks realistic, they used CGI blood and gunshots and stuff. And I was like, oh, and it took me out of the story and I couldn't get back in. I was so pissed.
It was 3 from Hell, maybe?
Yeah, I think it was that one. I think, what's his name's in that? The one, Billy.
Yeah, Billy.
Billy Blair. Did you know he's in that?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's one of the bad guys, of course. Can you see Billy as a good guy? Billy's always a bad guy.
He is a good guy, but yeah.
He's a good guy who plays bad guys. All right. And then finally, Focus Features is already building massive hype for Robert Eggers' upcoming Gothic nightmare, Werewolf, spelled WERWLF, Werewolf. They showcased the very first trailer to exclusive audiences, and they confirmed a prime Christmas Day theatrical release. If his previous work, like The Witch and the Lighthouse, is any indicator, we can expect a historically meticulous, deeply disturbing, and visually breathtaking take on lycanthropy. I always say that word wrong. Did I say it right? Lycanthropy. In my song, My Pet Werewolf, I'm always singing that line wrong. There's a little trivia. Lycanthropy, trip to the vet. I say tropy. I'm so sorry. I apologize for that. Okay, so Tracy says it's a fake computer map of Manhattan.
Okay.
Oh, come on, Tracy. Yeah, dang. Tracy, do you like Escape from New York, though? I'm sure you do. I'm sure he does. I'm expecting him to answer me audibly. Okay, so that was basically our horror headlines. Look at that. That's our new logo from Dr. Abominable. I just now realized it was up there. Horror headlines.
That is cool.
Very good. Okay, we're going to start. Oh, no, actually put horror headlines back up. I forgot. We have one more because we're going to talk about this. Paramount's new supernatural van life road horror movie, Passenger, directed by Andre, let me see if I can say his name. Uverdal. Andre Urveldal or something like that. Andre Uverdal. I don't know.
He's probably not listening. So.
It's Norwegian or something. Yeah. Anyway, Andre, our good buddy Andre, directed Passenger. Anyway, that movie had a pretty rough debut over the holiday weekend. It was produced for $15 million and made 8.7 over the 3-day weekend. That's usually how they kind of judge things over the release of a 3-day weekend. But since this was on a 4-day weekend because of Memorial Day, we can include that 4th day, and it's still not super awesome, coming in at 10.5 million. And it was mostly stacked. Apparently, most of the money came in on that Friday, which means there's not a lot of word of mouth. So people went to see it, didn't really like it, and didn't tell their friends to go see it, sadly. But that it is what it is, right? And for example, Obsession is in its second week in theaters, I believe. And that one, it's doing even better now in the second week.
I did see that, yeah.
Because word of mouth for Obsession has been amazing. Most people that have seen it, like, really dig it. And it's doing great. Now, back to Passenger. Most people that are seeing it, apparently, they're like, okay, I guess. And I think it has like a 46% on Rotten Tomatoes the last time I checked. I don't remember if that's audience score or critics. It's probably audience score. Middle of the road. I would say what's good about the movie is it's shot really well. The filmmakers know how to make a movie. It looks good. Sound design's good. I thought the lighting and the colors, all of that was great. I like the casting for this movie of the two main characters. I did think that the female lead in the very beginning of the film was a little bit...
Maddie.
It was a little heavy-handed, not interacting, but just the character was like, look how I'm super cutesy or whatever, Sometimes horror movies have the trope where it's this couple and everything's perfect and they have this super happy life and they love each other. Anyway, but having said that, there was all of those things were good. It looked good. It was edited well. It sounded great. What I didn't like was that it was just about 100% reliant on jump scares, which I don't know if that works on anybody. It doesn't work on me. Jump scares it's rare that I'm gotten good by a jump scare, especially if it's all the movie has. So it relied mostly on jump scares. I didn't really find much atmosphere in it. I don't think it built the lore that it could have built for the character, the evil presence in the movie. I think that the evil presence really it looked like long legs, first of all. It looked like Nick Cage's long legs. And the story itself was weak. It was middle of the road. It was predictable for me, but it wasn't, I didn't walk out of the theater saying I hated it. I just was like, Give us your assessment, Tony.
Well, not all horror movies we see this year are going to be great. This one, it definitely wasn't the greatest horror movie I've seen this year. I'm going to put it down there where I put Scream 7 because they weren't. I wanted to like it. I really wanted to like this movie. I like how it started. It had a really good beginning. I like how we saw those two guys together, and then one of them has, they're driving, and one of them has to stop and
the opening was great.
And then you knew something's going to happen. And he's getting out of the car, and then we see what happens, and then we go to Brooklyn and we see this couple. And when I told you what I like is that they weren't like a typical like Caucasian couple. They were like Latino. Yeah. And I thought, oh, that's interesting because it's a different take in a horror movie. And I think given the length of the movie, which is like an hour, over an hour and a half, I got to care about these characters. I wanted to see how far they went before something happened. How far they traveled from Brooklyn to wherever they were going. And so you got to kind of care about them, and then I'm thinking, which one of them's going to die? Which one?
I did think that it did. Yeah, it did have me questioning that for sure. And at one point, I was like, I hope the guy dies because he was starting to piss me off. Yeah. He was making like everything that was going wrong was basically that motherfucker's fault. I was like, never trust a man in a van. You know what I mean? But he was a nice guy, I guess.
Yeah, he wasn't. Yeah, he wasn't some like abusive Latino.
Yeah, he wasn't. Guy. He was nice.
He was very nice.
He just was not making great decisions.
Yeah, and then I got predictable. Like, oh, okay. But I liked the addition of Melissa Leo. Was it Melissa Leo? The Academy Award-winning actress. She was the Diane.
The Traveler.
She was Diane. So I liked.
She did great. I wanted to see more of her.
Yeah,
I liked her.
Yeah, I did like her character. So
I wish that they had more of her and more of that community. The ones that were like not the van life community, but the Traveler, the nomads. That was cool. That reminded me of some Stephen King shit.
Yeah, so that would have been.
Yeah.
See, why are they? How come? What do they know that we don't know?
Right. And it makes me, whenever I see stuff like that in movies, it often makes me wonder if the original script had more of that.
Yeah.
Was there more lore building, and did it get whittled down because of money or whatever? I don't know. But all I know is what we saw on screen. I think some people will enjoy it. It's not that it's not enjoyable. It's just that I've been seeing some pretty good movies lately, and that was didn't fall up there. It didn't hit up there with the good ones.
That's like the last present under the Christmas tree. Oh, there's one more. Okay.
It's all right.
Yeah.
It's socks from grandma. That's what passenger is. Socks from grandma. You need them. They keep your feet warm.
Yeah.
You don't hate them, but they're just socks from grandma. It's all right. That's passenger. Whoa. What? Do we have a guest here? Is somebody at the door? What is going on? Hold on. This is
I
unprecedented.
hope I didn't bring the passenger over here.
Dang, we're talking about passenger and now it's here trying to get us. Here, pick up that dog. This is live, folks. Do you see anyone out there? I wonder if it was just Amazon. It was probably no, that was creepy, Tony. I'm a little scared.
You're gonna have claw marks on your door.
Yeah, the three lines. Oh, and the other thing, passenger, that made me laugh, like, so they're, being chased by this entity, right? They're in the van and they're the evil, passengers trying to get them. And the girls get in the van and she puts her hand on the door or out, to get in. And of course, the door, like the evil entity causes the door to slam on her hand. And for some reason, that shit made me laugh so hard because I was like, that's bottom of the barrel shit. I'm going to slam your hand in the door. It's not like it chopped her fingers off or anything. It just like, ow, my hand. Oh my gosh, guys. Okay, we've got, what does this say? Exiled Entertainment 7545 says, hey, and Leah says hi to, is it? Okay. We were just having this conversation, friend. Is it Leia, Leia, or Leah? Tell us in the comments. If it's Leia, spell it Lay for us and we'll know. Spell it phonetically. All right. What do we have next? That's going to bring us to Texas Frightmare Weekend. This year marked a massive milestone for Texas Frightmare Weekend as the horror convention celebrated 20 years of fear, and Tony and I were there. I want to personally thank Lloyd. Let me try that again. I want to personally thank Lloyd Cryer and all of his volunteers and everybody on the AV team, if that is that what you call it, when the people, the audio visual. I want to thank Lloyd Cryer, the people on the AV team, all of the volunteers, all of the marketing people, everyone who is involved with Texas Frightmare Weekend this year and for all of the years prior. Because what they do is they give fans of horror an annual convention, a place to meet up once a year. You get to meet up with your friends, some of them that you only see once a year, some of them that you see once every 5 years at Frightmare, but you get to meet up with them. You get to make memories. It gives you opportunities. I've gained opportunities just by attending Texas Frightmare Weekend. And it's often a thankless job. You go online and you'll see people complaining, but you see some people being grateful and thankful. And I'm hoping that we can flip that and make that more of the trend, to be thankful and grateful for what Lloyd Cryer, his family, the volunteers, everyone that works for Frightmare. I think everybody should be very grateful for what they do because people look forward to it every year for a reason. It's really an amazing thing, and it's so cool that it's been going on for 20 years. What do you think?
I 100% agree with you. I'm very grateful for this. I don't like the people that complain so much about, the Screamcast is back again. Because not everybody goes every year. Not everybody has seen the Screamcast every 2 years that we have. Like my friend Alex, she hadn't been in 9 years. She's seen the actors that were there back in 2017, but she came back because she wanted like new pictures and new autographs. But it's like, don't complain because you ruin it for the other people that don't go on a regular basis. It's like, be grateful for what they give you. They
have to program that show not for one person. Mm-hmm. They don't program that show for people that go every year. They have to program that show for everybody. Yeah. And the Scream thing, it was 30 years. So Scream was having their 30th reunion. So it's kind of a big deal when you think about like Scream doing their 30th reunion celebration at Texas Frightmare Weekend, and they were having their 20th celebration. And Scream did a live, for the first time ever, they showed the movie and they did live commentary during the movie, which I didn't know they were going to do, but apparently that's what they did, which is super cool. And Jamie Kennedy was involved. And I don't know if you know, but like when they did the 30th anniversary, like red carpet stuff for Scream, They excluded Jamie Kennedy.
That's so wrong.
I don't know why, but he was excluded. So it was nice that Texas Frightmare Weekend had him back and he was there with the cast and they were able to celebrate together. It was him, Skeet Ulrich, or Ulrich. How do you say it?
I say Ulrich.
Skeet Ulrich, David Arquette, Jamie Kennedy, Matthew Lillard, and Roger Jackson, Jackson, the Ghostface. They didn't have Nev this year like they did last year, but that would have been cool. But I wish they would have had Rose McGowan too. Wow, that would have been amazing. But anyway, or Drew Barrymore, can you imagine? Courtney Cox, can you imagine? But it's those boys, they always make it very entertaining. Apparently Skeet was walking up and down the aisles during the movie and stuff like that. And, David and Matthew were always very, very entertaining. So I think whoever got to go to that, that's really cool. They also did the Halloween 3 screening that we were going to go to, but we didn't get to go to. And I think they had live, it wasn't like a full orchestra, but they had a live band. Is that right? Gomez might want to come on. Gomez, here comes Gomez. Tony's pulling up. There he is. Hello, Gomez.
Hey, buddy.
They had Tom Atkins and Tommy Lee Wallace for the Halloween 3 screening, which was super cool. Oh, wait, what's going on here? Okay. And that was Thursday night at the Texas Theater. All sorts of really cool things happening at Texas Frightmare. By all accounts, the convention was crowded, girl.
Super crowded. Friday,
I've never seen it as crowded as usually Saturday. We're all expecting it to be shoulder to shoulder, but Friday it was crowded. I was shocked. I had to, just to go to the restroom. I had to fight for my life to get back to the booth. It was insane. But I was like, good, but here's the thing. Like, people are like, there's too many people. Let me tell you something, Barbara. The fire marshal is the one who gets to decide the cap of people. They're not going to let more people that can fit into that building safely. So you don't have to worry about that. Secondly, of course, they're going to sell as many tickets as they can. They have to pay for all of the celebrity guests that come to a convention. They all have guarantees, which means, let's say, I'm not going to name any real celebrity names, but let's say, okay, Tony, you're a celebrity in my heart. Let's say Tony's the celebrity and Tony has a guarantee of $10,000. That means that if Tony doesn't sell $10,000 worth of autographs, you can show what's going on right now.
I don't my phone.
Oh shit. We need Tony. We need help. Gomez, that's enough. If Tony doesn't sell $10,000 worth of autographs and pictures and, whatever Tony's got to sell, then the convention people have to cough up the rest. So if Tony only sells 5,000, convention people have to pay 5,000. That's pretty much how it works, I believe. So Frightmare brings in like legacy guests. They bring in living legends, horror titans like Joe Dante from the Howling and Gremlins and the Burbs. They bring in Tom Atkins from Fog and Halloween 3 and Linnea Quigley from everything. Tobin Bell from the Saw series. And then they bring in new people, like they had the cast of Welcome to Derry there, all of those little kids. And all of those guests cost money. So of course they're going to sell as many tickets as they can. So not only can they pay those guests to make sure they have all their guarantees met and the hotels and all of the travel expenses, but it'd be nice for them to have money in the bank to acquire the guests for the next year. So people that are saying there should be a cap, I just don't agree. It would be cool. Maybe there's a way to do the layout differently. I don't know. I'm not trying to come in and, what do you call it? Monday morning quarterback or some shit. I can't remember. I'm not trying to backseat drive this thing, but it's not a horrible problem to have that it was crowded. Although somebody called me a bitch. I was walking.
Told me I would have taken care of him.
Tony
I know people. Who,
You have some nunchucks.
Yeah.
I was walking back to the booth and it was so crowded and it's literally, you're like this, right? Shimmying through. Like I felt like I should have greased up. And there was a girl walking and I could see her and she was walking like this. So she had her whole face turned looking to the left. She was not looking straight ahead. She's walking like this. And I could see it and she was coming right at me. And I couldn't really move too far to my left or right. So when she came, it was a shoulder check situation. Now I didn't hit her on like that on purpose. And Tony, here's my honest truth. I'm going to tell you right now. I probably could have moved out of the way a little bit more. But I saw her not paying attention. I was like, she needs to be paying attention. So I didn't move out of the way as much as I could have. So she ran right into me. And I just kept going. You know what I mean? I didn't say anything. I just kept going because it was her that should have said, excuse me, to be honest. And instead, what happened was she said, damn, bitch, you could have blah, blah, blah. And I don't know what the rest of what she said because I was already shimmying my way through. But I was like, yeah, that's right. I'm the king, bitch, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
Didn't somebody mistake you for a porn star also?
Yeah. Somebody came up to my table and I have all my 8x10s. And he asked me if he goes, so you're in porn movies? That's what he said. And I said, excuse me? And he said it again. And I started laughing. I was like, no. Like, can you imagine? Yeah. Fucking weirdo. With my red tears. I mean, I know my cleavage is out there, but like, no, sir. I'm not in porn movies. And I can't remember if he bought anything. He should have after that question. Right. Lord Jesus. I did bewitch Tom Atkins, though.
You see, that was one of my main goals when I first met you, and you told me the story about how you had seen Tom Atkins back in Houston a few years ago, and you didn't get to meet him.
Yeah.
And when you told me that, I was like, you know what? If there's ever a convention that we're both at, I'm going to make sure Scarah meets him.
Yeah.
when Frightmare Weekend announced that he was coming, I remember I sent you the screenshot. He's coming. I'm like, we're so going to meet him because I had never met him before either. And luckily, our booth was behind his, but it had the black curtain. We couldn't see what was going on. We would get the people that were in his line that had to be wrapped around. So we saw them on Friday.
Yeah.
But Saturday we met him, and it was great. He had like a lot of pictures from all his movies that I really like, and I had to narrow it down between The Fog, Halloween 3, and Lethal Weapon. And of course, The Fog, he doesn't have the mustache, so it's like
not very Tom Atkins.
So that kind of like, okay, which one am I like? Halloween 3 because they're representing Halloween 3, but Lethal Weapon, that's one of my favorite movies from the 80s. So I got him to sign it, but he didn't personalize it. They had my little Post-it with my name on it, and so I didn't want to be a dick. I'm like, oh, he didn't sign it. I was okay with that.
He's 90 years old.
Yeah, he's 90 years old, and plus, when we were talking to him, you told me this. I had to speak up because he couldn't hear what I was saying. Yeah. And I talked to him about Lethal Weapon. I asked him if he liked eggnog because he's got a scene in the movie right before his character dies. He's drinking eggnog
right from the carton.
Yeah, and then when he gets shot, I think the bullet goes to the carton of eggnog he's drinking, and he gets killed by Gary Busey. But when I went over to Stacy's table and I was talking to her, he comes over to me and he says, "Tony, I forgot to write your name on the picture." And he had the blue Post-it. I was like, "Oh, okay." And
what
so he takes a photo from me because I was letting it dry on her table while I was talking to her, and he took the photo back to his table, and he signed my name on it, and then he comes back with it, and he goes, "There you go, boy." Hey.
Oh, that's so nice. He called you a boy. Well, he is 90, so you are a boy to him.
But then the other thing was, you had left your booth. You were walking around. I could hear you. You were behind our booth, your booth, and he starts passing by, and then he turns around, and I'm standing up, and he sees me, but I'm thinking, is he seeing me or is he seeing your picture on the banner?
Yeah.
Because then he goes like this to me. I was like, "Oh, hey!"
Gave you a little wave.
Yeah, and you were.
I wish I was there.
I bet you he would have come over.
Well, Del put up the picture. It's me, Tony, and then. Adele doesn't know who these people. They're okay. So we go in for the professional photo shoot. Tom, right there with the sweater and the glasses, and I get next to him. I cozy in next to him, and I just look into his eyes. I'm just like staring at him, and he's staring at me, and our heads are turned towards each other. And he just goes. He's saying over and over again. He's like, "Oh, okay." Oh, okay. And he's smiling, and I'm just staring at him. And I'm wanting the photographer to take that photo because I'm like, please take the photo, or we're staring at each other's eyes, and I'm mesmerizing him. I'm like, bringing him in. Come here, Tom. And finally, though, he turned his head, and right when he turned his head, look at the smile on his face. They snapped the picture, and we left. And then the lady that was behind us in line, she came up to me and she was like, "I saw Tom Atkins fall in love with you in real time," or something like that. She said, "I thought that was amazing," and it made me laugh. But he was so sweet. Tommy Wallace was good too. I've met him before. Yeah. Tommy Lee Wallace. Fake trailer showcase too. I wanted to say the annual fake trailer showcase hosted by filmmakers Billy Pond or Bloody Bill and Kelly Wilson was a massive crowd pleaser yet again. They packed that room. They highlight how do you say? They highlight like little horror film trailers made by newbies usually that are bloody, full of practical effects, funny. There was one that was like a Brokeback Mountain parody, but with Bigfoot, I think. It was hilarious. And I made the promo for Scream Theater, but I did it in the style of a movie trailer. So they showed that. But before they showed it, they were so sweet. So they started off the show by explaining what the fake trailer showcase is. And they called out myself and also our friend William, who did Butcher's Bluff, William Instone. But about me, they were saying that that I basically did a promo for my podcast, and they were really cool because they said, or Billy Pond said that he thinks that I'm about to blow up. He's like, I think Scarah's about to blow up. You guys need to be watching her if you're not. Everything she's been doing, she's getting better and better. And he just had the nicest things to say to me. I was so touched, not in the naughty bits way, not in the bathing suit parts way, touched in the heart by Billy Pond. And later I was speaking to him and Kelly was saying the same thing. She's so nice. Kelly's so beautiful. Billy and Kelly just are a cool couple. So that was the second year I was part of the fake trailer showcase. And I want to try to make sure I'm part of it next year as well. And I can't say enough about that. If you're not going to the fake trailer showcase, you're missing out. I think you can do that and then you can go to karaoke or Scarioke. I know Scarioke's going on at the same time. Try to go to both, see what you can do. But the fake trailer showcase is super fun. Especially, here's the deal. If you're not feeling like really loud music at Scarioke, you're not feeling like dancing, maybe you're tired and you want to sit down, go to the fake trailer showcase. If you want to turn up, if you want to dance, if you want to try to do some Scarioke, go to Scarioke. You can do both. But I personally will probably be going to fake trailer showcase next year. What about you? You went to Scarioke. How was it?
I went because my friend Alex, who I hadn't seen since 2017, and when I met her in 2017, I had invited her to Scarioke, but she, we just met that same day, and she wanted to go, but she had to fly back the next morning, so which I understood. So here it is, 9 years later, and she was like, "Yeah, is there Scarioke still there?" I'm like, "Yeah, So we went. We were there for like an hour, and it was fun. I hadn't been to Scarioke since it was at the hotel.
Oh wow!
Like in the old days. So,
yeah.
No, it was fun. I like seeing different people sing songs that I'm familiar with.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay.
It's a good time, Scarioke.
It's a good time.
It's tradition. Gomez, he's getting sleepy. So we're going to play some phone calls of people here in a minute. But before, I can't remember what other pictures I gave you, Dale. Let's see what else we got. I also want to talk about our favorite Frightmare moments. Oh, there's us with Gina Gershon. Now, Gina was so cool because she's beautiful. And everybody that saw my purse, all the women, Dale, take away the photo for a second so we can see this gloriousness. Look at this. So I made this for myself, but I wanted to make sure I finished it in time for Texas Frightmare Weekend. It's a purse, but it's an anatomical heart. You got the aortas and the pulmonary veins and all of that stuff. It's beautiful. But Gina really loved it, and she liked my look. She was like, "I like everything you got going on." And I was like, "Well, I'm a horror host in Austin, Texas, so I have to look the part." And she said, "It looks fucking cool." I was like, "All right." Badge of honor. Gina Gershon said I looked fucking cool. What else we got? Oh, there we are with Tobin Bell. He also said I looked nice. That was lovely of him. Tobin, did you meet him outside of this?
No, I had met him once before. It was time for me to do an update, and I met him at a smaller convention in San Antonio where he wasn't separate from the other actors. So I got his autograph. Yeah, it's a 10-year-old autograph. He dated it too.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I always like seeing him.
Yeah, he's taller than I expected.
Yeah.
Tobin Bell.
Like 82 years old.
82. 82. Who else we got, Dale?
Oh, Emma Roberts.
Ah, there's Emma. She liked my bag too. You see it in the photo. Emma Roberts, teeny tiny. I noticed a lot of the celebrities, especially the women, they all wear like these overcoats. Like if you go back to Gina, check out what Gina is wearing. I don't know if you can. Emma's got this long lacy duster, and Gina had on she's got, see the big overcoat? Most of the women, for some reason, I noticed last year, Patricia Arquette had it going on. They all have a big coat on, and I don't know if it's just to make sure. I don't know if it's maybe serves a few purposes, maybe like so they're covered because so many people are touching them that they have like an extra layer.
There's a thought, yeah.
I don't know if it's like because these women are teeny tiny, so it's not like they're trying to hide any imperfections. But I did notice they all like kind of dress like that. Okay, so there's me with Piggy D. So this was interesting. Piggy D is in a band called Haxon, but you most likely know him as he is touring with Marilyn Manson. He's an amazing guitar player and musician. I got to introduce his band Haxon at Nosferatu Fest 3-4 years ago, I think. And I got to speak with him a bit then, and he was so nice. And I sent him, I think the Immortals, we had just done the music video for the song that we covered, Dead Man's Party. And I sent that to him, and he was really nice. And he said, oh, it's a great video. Y'all did a good cover. And he talked about how his band had covered it too. And that was it as far as Piggy D and I having communication. So he was there as a guest, but he was also vending. And I was walking by his booth and I didn't see him in there, but I was kind of looking to see what he had. And then he pops up out of nowhere and he was like, you don't call, you don't write. And I still was like, there's no way Piggy D remembers me. But he did. And he started talking to me about how people from Frightmare were coming up telling him that they saw him at Texas or at Nosferatu Fest and all of this stuff. So I was like, oh, he does know who I am. So that was cool. I got to see our good buddy Piggy D. And then Damien Leone, I've been, Instagram friends with Damien Leone for a long, long time. When did Terrifier 1 come out? Terrifier, I should say, whenever that came out.
2016?
Yeah, I think maybe 17 or 18.
Yeah.
I think I've been friends with him since like 2018. He has a Scarah shirt I sent him. But he's always been super nice. And I see him at these conventions and, you know, he's never charged me for an autograph or a picture or anything. He's just super cool. He remembers. He's come over here. And so I got to go say hi and tell him I was proud of him and all of that stuff. He's one of the nicest dudes around. One of the nicest filmmakers I've met. Have you ever met him?
Once in San Antonio, but yeah, it's been a while.
He's very nice. Well, everybody I've met from the Terrifier franchise, every single one of them.
Oh, yeah.
I love everybody I've met. They've all been super cool. So say what you like it or not, as far as the movie goes, that's up to you and your opinion. But you could not convince me otherwise that these people, these filmmakers and actors are not just pots of gold. They're just beautiful people. I love them. Any other pictures? Okay, let's go ahead and hear some of the phone calls.
No, go.
My favorite part of the convention was seeing Scarah.
Is that all?
Mm-hmm. Hold on, one more thing.
One more thing?
Yeah. I love you so much
Aww.
that I've been happy to see you a lot of times and see you at the next convention.
You gonna see her in Houston?
Mm-hmm.
Say see you in Houston.
See you in Houston.
Is that it?
Uh-huh.
All right, say bye.
Bye.
Oh, that was our friend Leia. That's so sweet. What a cutie.
I wonder who she'll cosplay at in Houston.
I don't know. Leia, how old is Leia, you think?
She's 7. She told me she was
7?
Yeah.
Leia's a 7-year-old horror fan. And we met her at Houston Horror last year. And she's adorable. She comes and sees us in our booth. And she was Megan and who else this year?
She wasn't dressed up on Friday.
Oh, she wasn't?
Last year she was Art the Clown.
The little Art the Clown, the little girl from
I took a
Terrifier.
selfie with her. Yeah, the little.
Yeah. Leia's great. Thank you, Leia, for calling. Before we go to the next call, someone's commenting. Emma Roberts was a sweetheart, and Damien was awesome. He had some kind words about me trying to be a filmmaker. Yeah, Damien's great. Okay, thank you. Next call.
Scarah, hey, this is Chris Neary. We met at Frightmare, and yeah, Frightmare altogether was absolutely fantastic. Met lots of cool people, did lots of cool things, sights, sounds, all that good stuff. And but yeah, probably one of my big highlights was actually meeting you. And I bought your Blu-ray, and it was numbered from, I guess your Blu-rays are numbered from 1 to 200. I got number 69.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, that's kind of one of those fright miracles, I guess you could call it.
Fright miracle.
Anyway, yeah, that was definitely a great time.
That's good.
Anyway, all my best. Catch you later.
Did he say his name was Chris?
Chris, yeah.
Chris, Fright Miracle. We have to coin that. That's freaking awesome. I love that. I remember you because I remember noticing he got 60. And I was like, you got 69. Yeah. I'm a dirty bird. Well, that's nice. I'm glad that you're including meeting me as a highlight, or is it getting number 69 was the highlight? Whatever it was, Chris, I appreciate you. I'm definitely one of my highlights was meeting everybody I got to meet, all of the people that came to the booth.
You're so good with people. I love sitting there and watching you interact with people, even if they're not there to buy anything. They want to meet you, or they said they've seen you in the fake trailer, or just they met you last year and they want to come back and get a new picture. It's so much fun. I love taking pictures with. Yeah, that's another thing. I love taking the pictures. I always worry about the glare from the lights above because
the lighting in there is not ideal.
Nice. Yeah. So if your picture has a lot of glare, it's not my fault. But if I took it for you,
you took good pictures.
Blame the Urban Convention Center.
Yeah. Call Lloyd. I was kidding.
I have a problem with there. I like the Urban Convention Center, but what I don't like is the lack of food choices there.
Yeah.
Because you're supposed to. You're representing the Dallas Metroplex area. And the best you can do is like nachos with white queso, you need more pizza, burgers and stuff. I mean,
the food there is lackluster, and you're not supposed to bring in your own food. So you're kind of at the mercy of the Irving Convention Center. I got jicama and cucumber. That was good. And then I got salad, but I couldn't really eat it. I can't, it's too busy. It's hard to eat there, but yeah, we were starving, Tony and I. Next call.
Hi, Scarah. This is Zeke. We actually ran into each other at Texas Frightmare this weekend.
Okay.
I was in the scary movie Ghostface Mask.
Oh.
I just want to share my experience from the con.
Okay.
It was amazing. I met so many new friends, ran into some old friends. I met some really cool celebrities. They were so nice. Like when I met Emma Roberts, she's like, "Hey, I hope to see you next time." So like that kind of made my day. Everyone was going to me being like, "Yo, what's up?" Because I'm the Ghostface from Scary Movie, so I had to play in character. It was so fun. And then I ended up losing my voice at the karaoke after hours thing. So my voice was kind of gone, like the day after Saturday. It was fun. It was actually really fun. I made a lot of new friends. It was great. It was great. It was good seeing you again after like a year. I hope to see you next year. Next year should be really lit. Okay. Thank you so much for your time. All right. Have a good day, buddy. All right. Bye-bye.
Thanks, buddy. I remember you.
Yeah.
I thought he did 2 Ghostface cosplays.
I think he did.
He did the silly one and the scary one. Yeah, he was a nice guy. See, that's another thing. Frightmare, like, I think that guy maybe was by himself.
I never saw him with anybody. Even when we were leaving, he was down there.
And he kept saying goodbye.
Yeah.
He was so sweet. But so this is somebody who gets to go to these, and he gets to meet all these people, make new friends, all of that stuff. It's another wonderful thing that the convention does for people and community. So that's good. And I will see you next year. I plan on being there next year. So thank you. I hope you come to the booth. Are there any more calls?
Hey, Screencasters. This is Daniel Barrios of the Movies Podcast, sharing my favorite moment of Texas Frightmare, which can be summed up in 2 words. Broke back Bigfoot. The fake horror trailer showcase is a riotous celebration of the scrappiness that keeps independent horror alive. After a long convention day, that woke me right up. It was so much fun.
Very good. Yes, I agree. Brokeback Bigfoot. That was the name. It was really like the funniest one of the fake trailers. There was a lot of good entries. I was very impressed by a few of them, but that one was super funny. I agree. What a riot. Yeah, I agree. I love the fake trailer showcase, and that one, woo, the way that one ended. I'm not going to spoil it for anyone. I hope they put that online, but I don't know if they could put it on YouTube with the ending they have. Let me just say, it's bodily fluids are involved. So I don't know. It's a little racy at the end, but it's super, super funny. I agree. Again, you're missing out if you're not going to that. I wonder if Billy puts them all up on YouTube or something. We'll have to find out what they do with those fake trailers, because really everybody should see them. Fright Miracles. And that was it, right? That's the last one of those. So I want to say a few things. Let's see. 2 things. One, I was thinking about this. I want to say like 15 years ago, I came across on Tumblr, back in the day, I was on Tumblr a lot. I came across this art, and it wasn't even horror related art. It was more like space age, kind of vintage 50s looking art. It was this woman, and I think she was in like this space age like looking helmet or something. And the colors of it and the composition, there's something about it that I loved so much. And I remember putting it up on whatever social media, saying that I wanted my whole wall to be like a mural of that artwork. Well, that art is by an artist named Mitch O'Connell, who attends and vends out at Texas Frightmare Weekend. And I have a lot of his art now in my horror hallway and in the Halloween bedroom. I tend to buy something from him every time, but now I just don't have much space. And I went to see him this time, and I bought one of his art books, which was reasonably priced at $20. And I was sitting there watching him. I asked him if he would sign it, and he said, of course. And he took out a marker, and I was watching him, and he drew a picture for me. He just was doodling and drawing this cool picture. And in my head, I was thinking, man, like 15 years ago, I was in love with this one image that he did. And here I am now, fast forward, at this convention. The artist is right in front of me, doodling something just for me, and it's things like that where you're just like, it's like a synchronicity sort of thing. I don't know if that's the right term, but it's just little beautiful moments that I tend to appreciate. Again, that are brought to us by conventions, and by the people that put it on for us. So if you haven't seen Mitch O'Connell's art, boy, you should. You know what? I'm going to put it out there, manifestation style. Wouldn't it be cool if Mitch O'Connell did a Scarah print? Kurt from Art with Latex, he told me a few years ago that I should go ask Mitch to do a Scarah. And I was so like, no, don't say anything. He was like, I'll tell him. And I was like, no, don't. I was so embarrassed because Mitch O'Connell to me is like, amazing. Like he's up there. Like I fangirl for that man's art. And so I just couldn't go up to him and say that. I was like, why would he? No, surely no. But now I'm like, maybe Mitch O'Connell would do a Scarah print. I'm just saying, Mitch O'Connell, I'll pay you monies. Do you do commissions? Do you take commissions?
Oh, I'm pretty sure he's definitely going to find out now that.
We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. I would love it. Let's manifest it. That's the music I hear when I'm manifesting. Doodly doodly, Mitch O'Connell, do a Scarah print. Okay. And then the other thing I want to say, first of all, Herman's hair's flying all over the place and it keeps landing on my nose. I keep itching my nose. The other thing I want to say before we wrap up Frightmare, And people wrote me a lot of comments about what their favorite thing about Frightmare was. And I was going to read them all off, but it's all over my social medias. And I just kind of ran out of time before I could gather them. But people had a lot of good things to say. A lot of people were super complimentary about meeting us. And I want to say thank you if you commented on any of my social media telling me what your favorite moment was. That was, I love the interaction. I want to say thank you to the new subscribers to the podcast. We picked up a lot of new subscribers out at Texas Frightmare Weekend again, talking about the opportunities that are provided by doing these things. So that's beautiful. And it is my hope to be back next year, but as a guest, manifesting. Anyways, I'm not much of a vendor, but I feel like I'm more of a guest. I don't feel like I'm on the level of their guests, but there's some other guests there that I feel like I match. So we'll see. I'm going to try.
No, I agree. Your popularity is growing, and I love that you allow me to hang out with you and I get to see this. And it's, well, you know what I mean? It's exciting. I'm looking forward to the next convention with you. But yeah, this is like great. You are becoming like bigger every time.
Thanks, Tony. Well, yeah, you've been around to kind of see the progress. So that's cool. Well, I truly enjoy doing it. It's super fun to me. And the podcast is really cool. I have to tell you a story. Okay. So you remember, and I've told you this, but pretend I haven't told you this. You remember, so we were signing stuff and all sorts of people come up to the booth, people that know me and people that don't. And there was this nice dude. He came up to the booth and he had a sticker right there on the middle of his forehead. I think it was a smiley face sticker. And he, I can't remember what he said to me, but I remember I answered him and he said, "Why?" And I was like, "What?" And then I answered why, whatever the why was related to. But I clocked right then and there that he was on the spectrum. And if you don't know, in previous lives and adjacent lives, I work with people on the spectrum and people with all sorts of different neurodivergent pathways in life, and people with special needs. I've worked with the gambit. Okay, so I know this is not me supposing. I clocked it. It's not that it wasn't that difficult to clock, but he was a nice dude, right? So much later that day, I was starving and I was like, there's nothing I could find to eat. The cafe wasn't open. I think this was the first night of the convention. Yeah, and somebody had said that there were food trucks and it was late. And I was like, well, my last hope is to go outside and see if there's a food truck. So I went outside and there's a lot of people sitting around outside having cigarettes and whatever. And I'm looking and I don't see any food trucks. And I'm just kind of standing there trying to think like, what can I do? I can't really walk anywhere super fast to get something to eat. I got to get back to the booth. And then I started hearing someone screaming, "Help me, call 911. Why can't I find it? Help me, call 911. I was like, what is going on? And I look and I see that man. It's the sticker man. And he is backing up, walking into the street and screaming and having a freak out. And somebody is walking towards him, like trying to help him. And they have their hands out, in that like manner of like, I'm not trying to hurt you kind of a thing. And they're walking towards him. And the closer they get, the more he's walking into the street. And I was like, oh no. And I knew that guy would remember me. And so, I've had training, working with individuals who are neurodivergent in various ways and shapes and forms. And so I walked over to the side of the road and I said, "Hey, come over here," because I wanted him to get over to me immediately. And sure enough, he did. Walked right over to me. I said, "Get over here, man." And the other guy, took off. And that was not, whoever that was, thank you for trying to help, sir. And the sticker guy was like, "Why isn't anyone helping me?" And I said, what I think I know about him, what I supposed was when he's asking a question, he wants an answer and he wants the real answer. Bringing it back to at the table, and he asked me a question, I gave him an answer, and he immediately was like, "Why?" He wants to know, right? Needs to know the logic of things. So he said, why isn't anyone helping me? And I gave him the real answer. I said, well, because you're yelling and it's scaring them, you know? And he goes, oh, okay. And I was like, what's going on? He started yelling again. And he was like, the Uber, I don't know where to meet my Uber. I don't know where to meet my Uber. It's so hard. I don't know where. I've already lost 2 Uber drivers. They keep dropping the ride. And I understand like that can be frustrating. And he goes, my phone's only at 15%. Please call 911 and have a policeman come take me back to my hotel. And I was like, no, we're not going to call 911. You know, we're going to figure this out. Come here. And so we were walking and I look around and I could see where the, you know, car pickup and drop off is. And I said, can I hold your phone, friend? And he gave me his phone. So, cause I'm trying to make sure they don't drop it again, like another ride gets dropped. Cause God, Lord, that poor man couldn't handle it. So I was like, this is where the Uber picks you up. And he said, how do you know? And I use that voice cause he's still yelling. How do you know? How do you know that? And I said, it says, I know it should be clearer and it should say this is where Uber picks you up. But it doesn't say that. What it does say, this is where car pickup and drop off is. And I was like, so if you come back, that's what that means. Whenever it says car, they mean everything. They mean Uber and they mean Lyft and they mean limo and they mean anything, you know, your friend, police, you know, whoever. This is where the pickup and drop off is, okay? Oh, okay. Why doesn't it say Uber? And it's like, well, because if they list one, they have to list them all, and there's not that much space on the sign. At that point, he starts calming down. And I'm like, your ride is only 1 minute away, okay? We're looking for a white sedan or whatever. And he's like, okay. And I said, are you going to come back tomorrow? And he goes, no. I was like, all right. So then the car pulls up, and he gets into the Uber, and he goes, hey, if I do want to come back tomorrow, is this where I tell them to drop me off? And I was like, yes, this is where you'll be dropped off, but they will know that. This is where you'll be dropped off and picked up, okay? And he's like, okay. And then gets in his car and drives off. And I turn around and we have an audience that I wasn't aware of, but we have an audience. So I'm glad. It's one of those, it was a fright miracle because was there any food for me to eat? Not a bite. There was no food trucks, but there was that man who I'd met before and we made a genuine connection. And I, you know, have my history of training, working with folks with various neurodivergent diagnoses. How do you say diagnosis, plural? I don't know. Anyway, so I was glad it was like the right place at the right time for me to be out there with him. Because that poor dude, Sticker Man, was walking into the damn road. He was freaking out, boy. So I'm glad I was there to help you. Sticker Man, if you're watching this, come back to Texas Frightmare Weekend next year. I'll make sure you get your Uber just fine, okay? That was my fright miracle. What was your favorite moment?
I had like 3 I can think of. First, working with, you're hanging out at your booth.
Hanging out at the booth, helping me. You were a big help.
My friend Alex coming. I haven't seen her in 9 years.
Alex is sweet.
And then I've always had a crush on Mira Sorvino, and I've met her before. This was my 3rd time meeting her because she was at San Antonio last year, and then the year before she was at Houston. But this time we talked more because it was on Sunday. It was towards the end of the convention.
Yeah.
She had nobody, so I went up to her and I'm like, no, I've already met her, but I'm like, you know what? She's just there. And I'm like, I'm going to talk to her, and we talked a lot more. And I even told her about how in Houston her hotel room had been next to mine, but I didn't want to be creepy because we went up the elevator one time when I was over there, and she's walking to her room, and my room's like right before her, so I'm walking behind her. But I remember. Anyway, I'm getting off track.
No, I wanted to take a picture of you with Gomez. Okay, go on.
But anyway, we just had a really nice talk, and she was telling me, I have 4 kids and all, and I didn't want to talk about Romeo and Michelle because I know she gets a lot of that because there's this. Supposedly they're going to do a sequel to that, and because it's going to be 30 years now since the first one came out.
Wow!
But anyway, I adore her. I think she's.
So it'll be their 40th high school reunion.
Yeah, it would be the 40th. Shit. Oh, jeez. But anyway,
she looks great, by the way.
She does. So I love talking. And then when we did the picture together, you know how I'd like to do that. She did it because in my other pictures she doesn't. She hadn't done that, but this time she was like, okay.
I saw it.
I didn't ask her anything. I was wondering. You did comment on that. I didn't say anything. I right away, and she
I was
did it
wondering
too. So.
if you had said like, let's do. That's so cool.
She was my only celebrity that did that I met, so that was cool.
She's starting the trend. Maybe more people will do it. That's amazing. There was a guy that came up when you were in the booth, and he was like, "This guy," and he was pointing at you. He said, "This guy's a legend." Because he recognized you from all the other conventions. That's happened a few times now. I love that.
I got swag this year. Because,
yeah, you did.
I got like 2 sets of swag, and they're still in my backpack. I was like, oh wow, that's never happened.
People
before.
bring little offerings to the table, which is so sweet. And Tony got in on some of that action.
I was like, oh, yeah, Cheez-Its, all right.
Yeah, I got some cheese, and you got my Cheez-Its. You got double Cheez-It. Yeah, that was certainly Mira Sorvino, getting to have a meaningful conversation with her. That's a good moment. That's a beautiful moment. God, I was going to say something else. Now it's kind of went away. Maybe it'll come back. And while we're waiting, we're going to play Bone Deep.
My very first time.
Now, Tony was our very first guest, but I had not come up with Bone Deep yet. Right. Bone Deep, we started, the first guest to play it was Boudreaux Partida, who is currently still the person to dethrone on Bone Deep. Let's see if Tony does any better. The rules are, I'm going to ask you a question. You answer the question. It's not horror trivia, so you don't have to worry about that. You will have an answer, and I will tell you if you're correct or incorrect. You have 60 seconds. Once that clock comes up, it's going to be starting. I'm going to ask you, and you are going to answer. All right? Are you ready to play Bone Deep?
Ready.
Can you give us a good Bone Deep?
Bone Deep.
Wow, that was actually really good. Very good. What do you think of that one, Dill?
Good, yeah.
Yeah, good. Okay. So once it goes up on there, right? It starts. Okay, put her up. You can only keep half of the legendary final act dynamo of Billy Loomis and Stu from Scream. Who do you keep, Billy or Stu?
Stu.
Correct. You're stranded on a desert island and you get to watch one movie. Do you watch Tom Savini's Night of the Living Dead or Joe Dante's The Howling?
Night of the Living Dead.
Incorrect. You get to program Scarah Scream Theater for a night. Do you pick The Leprechaun or Child's Play?
Leprechaun.
Correct. Oh my gosh. You're directing a gritty indie retro slasher. You can only employ one signature synth style to score the film. Do you go with John Carpenter, Alan Howarth style synth, like in Halloween and Escape from New York, or do you go with the dissonant ambient synth from Texas Chainsaw Massacre?
John style.
Good. You are given a blank check to produce a horror movie. Do you hire Damien Leone to direct, or do you hire Spencer Charnas to write and record an album for it?
Spencer Charnas.
Incorrect. Oh, that was it. Okay, you did very well. Let's see what you got. Hold on. How many did we ask you? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, you got 4, 5. You got 5. Okay, so out of 5, you got 1, 2, 3. Okay, hold on. Hold on, Tony. This is where I have to get out my calculator to do the percentage. You think I could do this in my head, Tony? Sure. You think I'm some kind of math whiz?
You can do it with a dog in your lap. You can do it. If I can have a dog in my lap.
Let's see. I think so close. 60%, Tony. Let's see what Boudreaux's around there. Okay, Boudreaux's at 62, and you are now the second highest. But we didn't ask him a bonus question. We could ask you a quick bonus question. I don't have any prepared. Let's see. Let me see if I have one in here in my notes that I didn't ask you. There's a few, I think. I didn't write them all down. We're opening up the notes to see if Tony can answer a bonus question. If you get it right, then you officially beat Boudreaux. Because everybody else, I believe, we asked a bonus question. Yours were also kind of long. And they were all, I don't know if you could tell, but they were all kind of related to Texas Frightmare. Okay, let's see. Some of these, Scream, we already did one of those. Okay. Let's see what this says. This is a very long one. Linnea Quigley represented the classic unhinged 80s era of horror royalty at the convention, while the presence of the Welcome to Derry cast highlighted the massive budget prestige shift in modern horror. Okay, so the scenario is a masked killer is stalking your neighborhood tonight, and you get to place one protective archetype at your front door. This question's stupid, first of all. I don't want to do that one. Okay. So sorry. And I also have to decide the correct answer.
Remember, I'm holding your dog.
You look like Dr. Evil or something over there. I don't think I have one.
That's okay.
Dang. Sorry, Tony.
It's okay.
You know what? When you come back on, we'll have a bonus question for you. Okay. Unless somebody wants to put a bonus question in the comments. I should have prepared better.
That's all right. I've had fun.
You're okay with the number 2?
I'm good, yeah.
You're okay with number 2 under Boudreaux? You could have won, Tony. You could have been a contender. I'll
train harder next time.
I used to keep a stack of cards. And I would have, if I had my stack of cards, it would have had a bonus question for you, but I don't now. I feel bad. Please don't write in. Let's see. You want to know who's... No, we don't have time for that shit. All right, what else? Is there anything else we wanted to cover? Tony?
Oh, no, I had the best time at Texas Frightmare Weekend again. We got lucky with the weather. Because I know we were expecting a lot of rain. We didn't get it until like on Sunday when we were taking stuff down. I didn't know it even rained until... Because I parked on top of the garage.
We did get lucky.
Yeah, we did get lucky. And it felt really nice afterwards. So.
Oh, okay, here's what it is. This is how we're going to wrap up. Last thing. So you've been to all sorts. You don't only go to horror conventions. You go to like Star Trek conventions and things like that. Fan expos.
Oh, yeah.
You've met a countless amount of celebrities, directors, people in the industry, all of that stuff. What is it? Why do you do this? What is it?
Because I enjoy being entertained. I enjoy movies and television shows. Because I wouldn't say that the television was my babysitter back in that day. No, I grew up with people that watch shows, and I love, I loved watching them. I learned very early that if somebody dies on screen, they don't die in real life, and I learned that from my dad. So. Yeah, watching shows when I was a kid, like you'd see an actor, get killed by William Shatner on T.J. Hooker, but then the next week he's on the A-Team, getting beat up by Mr. T. So I was like, oh, okay, my dad was right.
It's make-believe.
It's make-believe, and I love it. And then, of course, horror, I got into that because of Fangoria, because Fangoria magazine was on the shelves when I'd go to the bookstore, and I loved looking at bloody people, knowing... it's makeup and all. That was fascinating. So when I got to see it,
the behind the scenes.
Yeah. So when I would see that before I saw it, on home video or on HBO, and just like, oh, okay, that's cool. I know how they did that. So it wasn't really scary to me. It was more of an entertainment thing. And when I started going to conventions, I really liked talking to these actors about, hey, when I was a kid, no, I liked you. Not particularly like Star Trek, but I liked you on T.J. Hooker, So that's why I'd like to talk to actors or directors about stuff that they're not best known for, because they do remember you. Oh yeah, that's the guy that talked about this play that I did. I was in Star Trek, but he remembers this play that I did. Like Danny Glover was the one that I wanted to talk to him about Lethal Weapon, but I talked to him about seeing him at Bass Concert Hall many years ago, reading poetry. And like he remembered me later at that convention, that same convention that I went to. He remembered me. Oh yeah, and because he remembered more from doing that when he came to Austin. So sometimes it's like hero worship. Like, oh, I've been a fan of these people, this actor for so long, and now I'm going to get to meet him. And sometimes I get a little nervous. Most of the time I've gotten over it over the years. And in a way, I can see how some people get upset. Like, oh, it's an old friend or something. And, well, not really, because they don't know you, so you got to remember they don't know you. But yeah. So I get a lot of joy, and mostly talking about other things, or just letting them know that hey, I had your shirt with my picture on it and stuff like that.
Is there shows or celebrities current right now that you really enjoy?
Well, like The Walking Dead is still around. There's still, the spinoffs are still going on. I think the last two, Dead City is ending soon, and then Daryl Dixon season 4 is coming out. So I'm a little sad to see that gone. But it's time. You know, the show ended like a few years ago.
Yeah.
So I'm okay with that too.
But that's kind of a current one that
Yeah,
you would
that I
like
still
to
keep
meet
up
all
with
of
it.
those. Yeah.
Yeah, and I have met.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
I've gone to Atlanta to go to the big conventions over there.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just
It's kind of like a hobby for you.
it is a hobby. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm getting into more getting autographs again because for a while I was still going to conventions, but I was meeting the actors, but I was doing like selfies or professional photos. But I'm like, I don't have their autograph. Billy Zane was an actor that was there that I got a picture with him years ago, but I'm like, you know what? I never got his autograph. And I wanted something from, I told you about Dead Calm, one of my favorite movies.
Yeah.
That
I need to watch that.
That's
Yeah.
a great movie. And he had pictures from that movie and he was telling me about it, about how, and I got the director wrong because I knew it was from George Miller who did all the Mad Max movies and stuff. But no, he was like, oh no, George was the producers. Oh, okay. So, but yeah,
So it's cool because you get to you like movies and stuff in general and TV shows. And you've always been somebody that enjoys finding out the behind the scenes stuff. Thus your Fangoria love of Fangoria. So getting to meet these people at conventions and talk to them about little tidbits here and there kind of like completes that circle for you. So it's a cool hobby.
and it doesn't matter to me how long ago whatever they worked on came out. You know, it's still there's still somebody that I enjoyed back then, and I don't care how old they are. You know, it's like okay, but back then, back in the '80s, I loved this thing.
Yeah.
So
Time isn't real, Tony.
Time is You know. So I'm excited. We're going to see Henry Winkler in August, and it's like Happy Days ended a long time ago.
Henry Winkler. I forgot he'll be. So that's our next convention is Houston Horror.
Houston, yeah, he'll be there. So
Yeah, the Fonz.
the fun.
Who are you looking forward to most?
I can't think of her name. She's from Friday the 13th Part 3. She was the final girl in that one.
Oh yeah, they're doing all the screen queens from all the Friday the 13th girls this year.
But she played Chuck Norris's daughter in my favorite Chuck Norris movie of all time, Lone Wolf McQuade. So I'm like, I can't think of her name, but she's going to be there. So I've never met her, and I've met the other actors from that movie. So I'm excited. I already have a picture that I want her to get signed with Chuck in it. But.
I like having Tony around too because I'll be talking about a movie to someone and I'll say, "How's that actor? What's his name?" And I'll be like, "Tony, who is so and so?" And he knows. He'll always pop the name off. So Tony's good for that.
Oh, when I'm I'm watching your podcast and you'll talk about something. I'm like, oh yeah, I know what it is.
Yeah.
I know the answer.
Yeah, you type it in the chat for me. Yeah, I always I forget names often, but you're a good encyclopedia Tony over here. He'll know. Somebody said they're adding Rose McGowan to their Scream collection for that one. Somebody else says there are things that only happen at conventions, and they're usually all awesome. That's true. There are definite convention only situations, and some of them are private. I hear stories. Oh man, I hear stories about what goes down at the Texican. I'm just kidding. So it was a great 2026 20th anniversary for Texas Frightmare Weekend. Speaking of Fangoria, they were there and they had a cool issue of Fangoria that was dedicated to Texas Frightmare Weekend. I picked that up. I'm gonna peruse the pages later. I hope it seems online like everybody's being cool about it this year. People had stuff to say last year, stuff to say that wasn't really in the hands of the people that put the convention on. It was, stuff people complain about is usually stuff that are out of the hands of the convention runners. So I'm glad everybody seems to be being cool about it this year. I had a great convention. Tony
had a great convention.
Tony had a great convention. We're already looking forward to Texas Frightmare Weekend 2027, and we hope you are too, and we hope we see you there. If you're going to go to Houston Horror Film Festival in August, we'll be there. Come by, see me, see Tony Tamayo. Ayo, Tony. And with that, I guess we're going to go ahead and sign off. Thank you for joining. If you're a new subscriber, thank you for being here. My name is Scarah, Damsel of the Doomed. I'll see you in your